Hello and welcome to Cosmic Rising Exploration. This focus is on the month of August. We're having our deep dive psychics gathering who are weaving together the energy, themes, and threads, looking into the month's astrology and messages. Cosmic Rising Exploration dives into the ancient past and into the infinite future. Our group for this gathering today, we have Sherry, our Reiki master of the Violet Flame, master teacher of the Violet Flame, biofeedback practitioner, and QHHT therapist. We have Stacey, our spiritual coach, healer, and channeler. And myself, Alex, Akashic, past life, QHHT practitioner, and life purpose guide. And Cynthia,
Just the neighbor there.
Cynthia, just the neighbor. We have Anne with us to go over the different astrology aspects of August. We will go around and everyone will share what they are picking up psychically and tuning into. We'll have themes that come up from all of us that we will go over. These are always just fascinating because it's always so varied. Okay, who is up first to share about the month of August and what you picked up?
I can go. The first thing that I saw was people floating down the river. I got the words, let the river move you, but keep your hand on the rudder. In this whole thing, there were people that had their hand back behind their inner tube and controlling where they went in the river. I also heard, as part of that control the rudder, is control your yes or no. Decide what you're going to do and what you're not going to do, and what is within your wheelhouse and what is not. Those moments when the river is calm and smooth and you don't have to control the rudder. Take those inner moments of peace because they're magnetic. They draw the things that you want to you. The totally irrelevant picture to that was August is the month that everybody harvests their hay around here. The words clear room for seeds to breathe came into my awareness, which tells me that now is the time that we plant all of the seeds for the second half of the year as we head into fall and winter. Now is when we plant the seeds of what we're going to get in fall and winter. Not only do you have to relax in this period of harvest, but you have to decide yes and no, what's going on in your life, what you're going to take, what you're not going to take. Whatever you're going to take, you go ahead and plant those seeds, pull up all the weeds and everything around it to make sure that those seeds take root. That was what I had received.
Love it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was, I'll go. Mine was really out there. I love how yours is all together. I started off with this silver liquid drop that came from the heavens and then just went whoom right down onto the earth. And it seemed like it went into me and then it went into all these other people. And there was a feeling of this is definitely me, right? This experience of silverness is me. So us coming into ourselves and other people, like having the opportunity to come into this higher frequency silver in themselves. And then the other information about that was like using silver frequency right now. Now, not everyone connects with silver. It might be gold for you, right? White gold, silver on that frequency. I know, Sherry, you like rose gold. Play around with that because it was showing going into the nervous system and the body, and that would be very supportive. Then it got uncomfortable, and I was in the fires. I was in the forest and very much looking at the fires, having the fires going on around me. I wasn't getting hurt by them, but there was a discomfort in them. what is this? Why am I here? What am I doing in this fire? Part of it is, yes, there are fires this month. That is true. And there will be fires and they'll be affecting people. The other level of that is fire is an element. It's a primordial experience. It burns, it clears out the forest, it changes it drastically. There was that, just realizing that whatever the discomfort is, and the big change is that it's a very powerful and yet healthy, right? It's we're moving on into the next cycle. It got a little weird, besides already being weird. I went back into the woods. This time I was walking in the woods. I've been doing a lot of being in nature. It was almost like all these little insects were behind me in a cloud. What is this? The message was potential danger. On what level are we talking about? Am I going to get attacked by bees? Or I got more of an etheric level. I've been thinking about how the frequencies can get beamed to us, or different thoughts can be sent to the masses, or the masses are holding negative thoughts. The message there was clear your space, clear your mind, just making sure all of my thoughts are really mine. I'm going to let go of whatever I might be picking up from others. That was really healthy. The final image was water, being in water, allowing things to flow, and connecting in with the silver frequency or whatever metal frequency works for people is really beneficial, calming and centering. And then this off-worlder dimensional silver being was here with me. Really unusual. The Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, the second Terminator, the guy that was all liquid silver.
He was the Silver Surfer kind of guy.
Yeah, the Silver Surfer kind of guy. The being showing up in that way, I'm like, wow, I have never seen a being like that before. An off-world or a dimensional being like that. I'm curious if people are going to have more interactions personally, dream-wise, meditation-wise, or out in nature.
Alex, we had talked in the very beginning about all the fires in my area,
Yeah.
and fires help plant new seeds.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. All new beginnings of a whole area.
Right. And see, I had got clear the path for new seeds, and then you got fire and new seeds. So it definitely sounds like to me that this is a time of planting the seeds of what you want for the rest of the year.
Big. Yeah.
I can go next. The first thing I heard was brace yourself, but it didn't sound like danger or anything. Just brace yourself. Be ready for whatever. Then there was a bright light. I actually opened my eyes because I thought the sun came out or something, but it wasn't. It was a bright light, and then I started sweating. That just menopause. Anyways, I ended up in space, and there was a tree floating around, and I was hanging on to it. A portal opened on my right side, and it was sucking me in, but it wasn't like really hard or anything. I was hanging on to the tree like very lightly, and I'm just looking at the portal, but the tree is telling me to hang on. So it wasn't intense, but it was in space. And then that's all I remember. And then when I asked if there was anything else I needed to know, and they just said, chill.
Chill.
Yeah, chill. So
Float the river.
What was it, Stacey?
Float the river. That's how my whole vision
Right.
started. We were
Floating.
Cool.
Yeah, I can go. I had sort of a similar go with the flow message, and a feeling things that are the status quo will be broken this month. which may not affect you if you're not a status quo kind of person, but other people may be affected. So it could be a wild float down the river, but just stay in the center and go with the flow is what I was getting. Could be a wild month. But I think also with the seeding, what we have with the astrology this month and in September is seeding what's to come early next year in February, like February, April, March, April. So it is planting the beginnings of something big and new that's to start next year.
I had a lot of visual visual stuff just going into it. I saw layers of the sky in different colors. They'd light up one at a time and just take their turn and light up, and beautiful colors. I saw clouds come in, clouds or smoke that started obscuring the pretty colors. My face got really hot. I mean, it just started from here and it went all the way up here. I stayed like that for a while throughout this whole thing. Last night, for some reason, I just couldn't sleep, and I downloaded 2 different mahjong games. I haven't played that in years, and for some reason, I just wanted to play mahjong. But that's what I kept seeing was the tiles, and the tiles would light up. There were multiple tiles lighting up throughout, and it was like a translucent overlay to all these other things that I was seeing. I saw what looked like a tree with really fine lacy leaves. It almost looked like somebody's posing to dive into a pool or something. They stand up and they're up here and then they do this or whatever. But I saw those lacy things just dangling down. I have no idea what that means, but I saw a lot of division of things. Things are, I don't know if that means things are sorting themselves out or people are dividing and getting distracted. Distractions was another word that came. And when you asked for the last, what other information do we need to know right now? I just could see somebody sitting in an office looking out a window with a book open, studying. And so it was just like quiet time and observing and learning what you can while you can in this moment, I guess. But oh, there was one other thing. At one point I saw like a dark room with a clear tube with blue lights on it, and somebody was sitting or standing behind it looking into the tube, and then just sits back and stays watching this tube like something's happening in this tube. So somebody was watching this. I don't know. Very interesting though. I mean, it was not med bed. It was like just a tube and blue lights on both sides, but he was intent, and I could see a clear him watching it.
How big was the tube?
Probably maybe 5 feet.
So it was a big tube with someone in it,
No, behind it.
behind it, looking in.
Like glass, yeah. Very
So
interesting.
did it seem like a lab or something? Was there?
Could have been, or like a control room, because there was equipment, things behind him. But he was just observing whatever was happening in the tube.
While you were talking, Sherry, I got like some extra information. That tube with him watching it is like the status quo. He's
Oh,
watching the status quo, but the lace leaves and stuff, I got a vision of like lace over like a curtain or door, which made me feel like wherever it is that you're not looking, a window or a door or something is opening up because you're like watching something else, that some other cosmic event is going on. And the only way you're going to notice is because the windows open and the lace curtains are now blowing. And so that was the imagery that I got as you were talking.
That's really fascinating. This whole tree image,
Mm-hmm. That would make
because
sense to me too, with
it
what,
would make sense for you too.
yeah, what Sherry said. But I was hanging on to the tree and I was looking in the portal, but I didn't see anything. But the tree told me not to go in. I don't know if not to go in
Oh.
yet or not to go in, but it wasn't like it was sucking me, like trying to get me in really hard. It was just hanging and looking, but I didn't see anything. When she said that, I was like, oh, that's what I was doing. I was looking in there.
Mm.
Oh, that's interesting. Because I have to say, this whole thing with the silver, at one point, the silver, it looked like I was looking in a body. If I was looking at all the nerves, let's say, but it has that kind of quality. What you guys are talking about, like this lacy, like suddenly the silver like spread all over everything. I didn't see the body anymore. So there's something,
Almost like filigree.
yeah.
Yeah.
It could be interesting for us to see if we're watching for shifts, maybe shifts that we don't fully see. There's something about what you're saying about the lacy curtain. We're sensing something, but maybe not fully seeing it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's coming on, it's on other dimensional levels, and we're going, did you just notice how you lost time or whatever it is? Did you notice everything just suddenly feels really different? Oh, I think this will be really interesting this month. I mean, it's floating, right? Just centering, floating, having clarity, yes and no, knowing that big shifts are happening.
And planting seeds for the future.
Planting seeds for the future. Yeah. And this heat thing, two of you had the heat come up.
That's interesting because we were talking about the fires before we got
And
started.
we're talking about the fires too. Looking into the astrology of August, we have Anne with us to go over the different aspects, also how September's eclipses will be affecting us. We have the Lion's Gate that's happening, and boy, it seems to move stuff for me, at least.
Okay, so you guys were talking about the Lion's Gate. Can somebody explain that to me?
The Lion's Gate is when Sirius, the star Sirius, is on the horizon when the sun rises. Sirius comes up with the sun. It has to do with old Egypt. That would be signifying when the Nile floods. Because Leo is on the horizon. That's why they call it the Lion's Gate.
Leo's on the horizon.
The constellation Leo.
That makes sense.
But the star Sirius is pretty special. And on Monday is the good luck day of Venus conjunct Jupiter, and they're conjunct Sirius.
Ooh.
We get a little star energy.
Ooh, that sounds good. I like that. Let's get some star energy with the intensity, shall we?
Yeah. The astrology is super intense. This weekend is the biggest weekend. There's two kites and Mars opposite Saturn, Mercury opposite Pluto. There's just tons of energy and configurations going on. It'll be a little intense, but not necessarily bad, just intense.
Mercury and Pluto, opposite Pluto, that should be an interesting one. Maybe do you think things might arise? Like we might discover things?
Yeah, truth bombs is one phrase for that. The things that were secret coming out in communication.
And okay. So that's a good thing for us to keep an eye on. Truth bombs. Mars is that fiery one, opposite Saturn, which is about constricting and control or organization, structure.
Yeah. It's a little Some people would call it military, but it's the planet of restriction opposite the planet of action. So it's a polarity. It's a polarity. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
We
So
could
go with
spend
the
videos on
flow. Should we be
Yeah.
flowing and having space?
I think
Everyone's
we
space,
just
no
gotta
expectations.
we just gotta roll with it. I think it's gonna be busy, and there's a lot happening. If you look at the news now, there's a lot going on. You can't even keep up with it, even though Mercury is retrograde still. But Mercury goes direct on Monday. Monday is a big day.
Mercury is going direct. Okay, good.
I can start signing contracts again.
Yes.
Let's all sign contracts Tuesday.
So Tuesday. Now, they talk about like the shadow of the Mercury, like hanging out a little bit longer.
He's going back over degrees that he already retrograded. Some people wait a little bit longer, but it just means you're going over the same stuff. But the third pass means everything should be worked out.
The final bits.
Yeah. Putting everything back in order.
I like that though. That does help, just knowing which of the times it's passing over, because we've already touched on it 2 other times, so that's good.
Yeah.
That might be better for you, Sherry, with the house, actually.
I
Getting
know,
out
I'm
of
just thinking about that.
she's selling your house.
We're hoping that we can fix it and that the new parts, which are the engine light off, come when did we say Mercury goes right again?
Monday.
Oh, Monday. Perfect.
You're saying definitely by Tuesday we can sign contracts.
Tuesday, the new parts for it that are supposed to turn the engine light off show up.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, you're in alignment.
Yeah.
Anything else for this month?
On a new moon at the end of Virgo, which will be in September. That's the eclipse. We're heading into eclipse season. This Virgo new moon is not an eclipse, but it starts the eclipse season. Got 2 eclipses in September.
So we have 2 eclipses in September coming up. Oh my gosh. Is one of them in the first week, or because we could be having that energy coming?
It's like the 7th is the lunar in Pisces, and the 21st, around the 21st, I'm not sure on the dates, would be the Virgo solar eclipse. They always come in pairs. There's a lunar and a solar. The lunar comes first in Pisces.
Okay, lunar and Pisces I can embrace.
Yeah, that's the emotions and and yeah, water. That'll be nice. Virgo and solar. Who knows? We might be organizing our lives that day. Or that couple. That'll be interesting. Cynthia, just to catch you up, we're talking about how there's 2 eclipses in September. And the first one is on the 7th. That's a week in. So I don't know if we'll necessarily feel that one until we start moving into September.
They say eclipse window, like at this next Virgo new moon. So that's 20 something, 24th maybe.
Oh, really? It's 2 weeks ahead that we'll be feeling the eclipse?
Yeah, because that's the new moon that goes with the lunar eclipse.
Oh, wow.
Maybe, maybe not. It depends on what's going on with you, but there's a window of opportunity there for changes. My son is getting married right between the 2 eclipses. He did not check with me on dates.
That's not really a recommended time.
Well,
Isn't all everything
not
crazy?
not necessarily recommended.
Cynthia, the second is the solar eclipse in Virgo, and you're saying 21st-ish of September.
Yeah, I think 21st.
Well, since the lunar eclipse is going to be touching, potentially we could be feeling it in Pisces, what would you recommend for the end of this month for us and for that last weekish? We're feeling it.
It's overall a pretty good time. If something's going to happen, they say with eclipses, it's fated. If something's meant to happen or some change is meant to happen, it will. It might be surprising. I mean, this whole month of August it could be more, a lot more going on and a lot more sudden changes because there's a lot of Uranus energy involved. Uranus and it could just be electric.
Yeah, electric flash changes.
Lots going on. Could be sudden changes. If that affects you.
Right, if you're sensitive to it. Okay, cool. It's true. It's a little bit colder down here. I kid you not, a few aspens that are already changing.
Yeah, the trees are already changing up here. Yeah.
Wow.
I know, I was looking at one little one that had 15 leaves of yellow on it, and I'm like, aren't you a little early, buddy? Come on, Mr. Aspen.
No. That means we're gonna have an early fall.
Does it?
Yeah. I'm already getting beaver calls this time of year, so that tells me that we're gonna have an early drop in temperature. But I also feel, just my intuition tells me that we're gonna get like an Indian fall.
Oh, I would love that.
Huh?
Did you say beaver?
Yes, beavers. We normally don't get those calls until the end of August, but we're getting them now. I started getting them last week. We've got beaver for 2 weeks already, and that's almost a whole month earlier than normal. That tells me that the animals are getting ready for fall earlier, but because it's still so hot, that in my experience, that we're going to get an Indian fall, if that makes sense. Indian summer fall, I think is the way they would call it, Indian summer. October and November, it's going to be unseasonably warm. And that tells me that the bats are going to hang out longer because they were later arriving this year. They didn't show up after April 15th, which is normally their birth time. Those females probably showed up already with pups attached to the nipples. Just my little observation of what the weather's doing. It's going to be a early kind of onset of the leaves turning, but then we're going to have a long, slow fall and then an instant winter.
Wow, that is incredibly cool. I love the animal input for sure.
Right. When they start doing fall behavior, we are still seeing squirrel, second seasons of squirrels and second seasons of clutches of birds. So that tells me that it's been a long, warm summer and they feel like they can do a second season. Because the beavers are overlapping with the birds, it tells me that we're going to get like a cold snap and then it's going to warm up again. September and October are going to be cold, but November and December are going to be warm. In my experience with the animals.
So slow start to the ski season.
You usually don't get a whole lot of snow until after December.
Yeah.
If you're opening on Thanksgiving weekend, you've had an early
snowstorm
or some serious snowmaking.
So let us know, Stacey.
Since my vehicles have check engine lights on them.
Monday, Mercury's going direct. Things could be looking up.
Right.
Now.
Sir Brandon might come to the rescue and replace more engine parts.
May we all have Sir Brandon supporting
Yes.
us this month. Anything else before we say goodbye? No, I let him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good
Love
night.
you.
Lots of love to you all. You take care. Love you. Love you. You all have an amazing night. Rising Cosmic Exploration dives into the ancient past and into the infinite future. Deep dive into healing, spirituality, energetic support. Go to our website, cosmicgemholistic.com, where you will find us and more.